All right, we should be live now. And you guys, you don't wait. Maybe we're not live yet. I'm watching. I'm looking at YouTube. Oh, there we go. All right. Hello, everyone. It's us again, Sofia Crypto Meetup. Oh. All right, and I'm muted. You don't see me because my screen is being shared. But yeah, hello and welcome again to one of our online meetups. We kind of skipped the past 2 months because of the whole summer situation. There was, yeah, I guess most of you weren't that interested in participating in online events during the summer, and also having in mind that there was so many different events happening all the time. I guess, yeah, your attention was being divided. But yeah, without too much of an introduction, let's jump right into the the presentation and the main part of our event. So we're gonna start this time with the updates from sponsors first, so that we can get those done with at the very beginning, and then we can focus on the content. So yeah, sponsor updates. I will start with BitHope. So I just have a little announcement that yesterday I finally managed to prepare the review of 2019 and to publish a blog post at bithope.org mentioning the campaigns basically that we sponsored and the amounts that we distributed. So I'm very happy to announce, and maybe you know this already, but last year was one of our best years in terms of donations distributed, and that's thanks to one of the donations that was dedicated to cancer care, breast cancer in particular, and we distributed 30,000 euros generated through bitcoins. So yeah, I'm quite proud and happy that this was all made possible by Bitcoin and through BitHope. And yeah, we recently also sponsored this year. Just a few days ago, we distributed a one donation to the Set1 initiative, and we haven't announced this yet, but yeah, you can hear it first at Sofia Crypto Meetup. The donation is the amount of donation is about 900 euros. But yeah, generally, our campaigns are ongoing, and we're going to publish a few new campaigns. So yeah, if you have a few Satoshis laying around, you can always donate them to one of the campaigns of BitHope or to the general address. And now I can switch to Anastasia, who might have some updates coming from Nexo.
Hi everyone, so Anastasia is here. You know me from the previous online editions of Sofia Crypto Meetup, and the freshest news around Nexo just out, just like literally now. Nexo as of now is an official credit partner to the Litecoin Foundation, and this is a strategic partnership that aims to bring the two projects' communities greater access to financial services and a fairer financial market, and is another step towards crypto and blockchain adoption. LTC is, by the way, supported on the Nexo platform since 2019. Earlier this month, Nexo started supporting also HUSD, the stablecoin, US-backed stablecoin. Now users can both borrow against their HUSD via the instant crypto credit lines, as well as receive up to 10% interest on Nexus Earn on crypto product. This development comes also as another strategic, after the long-term collaboration between Nexo and Hobby, another strategic partnership. And also earlier this month, Nexo started doing a weekly newsletter, free one, called Dispatch. You can find it also at the nexo.io in the blog section. and I'm sure it will be. It is like our team is doing a great job with it. I'm sure it will be interesting to many of you, our listeners. So enjoy it. That's from me for now.
Thank you, Anastasia.
I guess,
actually, I was waiting for Ashi from Eternity, but he's not here, so we'll move forward with the next announcement. As you remember, a couple of months ago, I reminded you like 100 times to participate in this large, first of its kind survey that we organized for the community. It was quite extensive, I would say, but it only took like 10 minutes to fill in, and the information was really, I mean, we consider it super valuable. So I took the time to go through the answers recently. I was planning to do it earlier, but summer really, yeah. I was obsessed with summer and with the sun and relaxation. So yeah, as I said, I only managed to go through it recently, and so I started extracting the most interesting data from there. And I'll share with you 3 pieces of information after this related to the information that we managed to gather through the survey. But as you can remember, we announced that 3 of the people who filled in the survey and also provided the Bitcoin address would win 500,000 satoshis, which is 0.005 bitcoins. And I managed to select the winners, and that was done through the hash of block Bitcoin block. I think it was 600,000 3,300. Oh, what was it, like 633,000 block, and that's the hash of that block. I will share this information in the group a bit later. And there is this tool that uses the hash of the block and then a list of addresses, all valid Bitcoin addresses, and selects 3, actually 1 winner. And then I remove their address and then run it again. And then, yeah, I do this 3 times. And I've also prepared the lists. So this information I'll share a bit later with you. And you can check if this was fair. It was provably fair thanks to this tool. And these are the 3 winners: Vasil, Ivailo, and Miroslav. I already transferred the Bitcoins to these addresses. Actually, Vasil decided to forward his winnings or the satoshis to a campaign on BitHope, and that's autism related campaign, and that's already done. So yeah, Ivailo and Miroslav should have received their rewards on these 2 addresses. I put the lowest possible Bitcoin fee, so about 3 cents. So it might take some time for these to receive a confirmation, but yeah, they'll be there at some point. So just quickly, a few things that I extracted as information or from the survey. The first one is about what is the profile of the people in the group. Actually, the survey was filled in by 100 people, so it's not super representative, having in mind that our group is 4,500. But I did my best to stimulate as many people as possible to fill it in. And as you can see, most of the people are not new. The biggest segment is people between 1 and 4 years ago, like who have entered the space 4 years ago, and we have 20% of people who are 7 years into the space. So that's quite impressive, I would say. And then between 4 and 7 years is 34%. So I'm pretty happy to say that we have people in the group who have been in the space for quite a while. So experts, I would consider them experts in the space. So what is the professional occupation? That was quite interesting. We have a lot of entrepreneurs, software developers, business managers, like people interested in finance and trading, and yeah, marketing. So I would consider the biggest segments of people in the group, at least of these people who filled in the survey. So yeah, a lot of entrepreneurs. That's great. The blockchain space definitely needs more of those. And finally, and this is a big question for us and for me personally, we asked the people what the language of these meetups should be, and as you can see, most people think for them doesn't matter because they're bilingual, and but there's like almost 30% of all people want this meetup events to be in Bulgarian, and then there's only 30% who prefer it in English. So what we think is
I'm really
yeah,
sorry.
suitable to do in this situation. Sorry, what?
Vlad, sorry, the presentation is not moving. I know you have amazing graphs to show, but they're actually not shown. So if you could, I'm not sure what the problem is, but the presentation is very first page still.
Okay, I see all of the graphs for some reason, and everything's moving fine on my end. But I'm just gonna share my entire window, and I'm gonna share the graphs again here. So are they visible? Are they visible now?
Not yet.
No?
No, not yet.
I don't know, but I don't know why. And did you see the previous slides? Like, did you see the slides of the winners and
No,
the
unfortunately.
nothing? You didn't see? I have no idea why this is happening. All right. So can you try sharing it then?
Yeah, already on it.
Everything on my side
Do it.
is like.
Just a second.
All right. I don't know why. And did you see the slides?
Just a second. No, I'll share everything now, so you can just point at them like really fast. Just a second, sorry. Just a second.
Yeah, maybe this is Brave. Brave is protecting me. It's protecting my screen.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
So
Yes,
now let's see. It should
see it.
So those are the winners.
Okay, so those are the winners, and then you can go quickly through the next slide, and here are the people, like the profile of the members of the meetup, and then the next one is the different professional occupations of people in the group, and then the final one is the language. And yeah, as I was beginning to mention, we're gonna try switching to Bulgarian for the meetups that don't include like an English speaking guest. So and we'll see if like participation improves if there are more people from the Bulgarian community who are interested to learn or participate in the meetups. Yeah, you can go to the next slide then. I didn't want to spend that much time on this, but technical issues always. Yeah, BTC graph, I'm not going to talk a lot about it. You see a little drop there, but hopefully this is the start of a new increase in the price. Although, yeah, it looks a bit, not great. And yeah, you can go to the next one, Ethereum. the same situation there. We see a little correction happening. Hopefully, this is consolidation, yeah, and the bull run that everyone is talking about is yeah, close to starting. And then Anastasia, you can go to the next one. I guess this is the headlines.
Yeah. So the biggest news in September. That is what our community voted for, and it was quite an eventful month. So the first and the third are quite related, so I'll start with those. This is, so Uniswap released their governance token, the Uni, and really awarded with a really healthy amount a lot of the users that used in one way or another the protocol. You can see now that Uniswap is in the very top. This is from DeFi Pulse. They're in the very top, past just literally 48 hours ago, past the 2 billion mark in total value locked, and currently almost 20% are leading with the 20% dominance in the DeFi space. And generally, the DeFi total value locked in DeFi is like plus minus around 11 billion in USD. Currently, the Uni token is traded at 4.2 around dollars. And yeah, congrats to everyone that got a piece of that pie. So the other one is again related to the yielding saga. Let's say because of that, the Ethereum transaction fees actually soared super high. You can see the graph. This is from the blog. Actually, it includes August. I'm not sure if it includes September. All-time highs. Also, the fees in Ethereum, the mining fees became, I think, 40%. 40% of the mining fees are from actually from you can see actually the miner revenue here, not the price, sorry, of the fees. So just let me go back to our normal screen. So the second actually news that was voted on is gonna be presented by Nikolai. He's a key account manager for the Balkans at Kraken. Also a great supporter of the Sofia Crypto Meetup. Maybe our viewers know him from an earlier edition when he was discussing Kraken's features. And Nikki, you're on.
Hi guys, do you hear me? Great. Thank you so much for inviting me to participate again in Sofia Crypto Meetup. It's always a pleasure. I love the event, and I really hope that we can actually see ourselves like in live in the next events. But who knows? Yeah, I will be discussing the news about Kraken getting the bank license in the US. Pretty big. Unfortunately, I haven't prepared on the presentation, but I will give you a short overview of what this means. So as you've already heard, Wyoming, the state of Wyoming has approved Kraken's application to form the first special purpose depository institution, which is now called Kraken Financial. With this bank charter, we can operate a fully independent bank. And the idea is that it will reduce the reliance on any third-party institutions, and hopefully, launch a new wave of products to our clients. But it's probably, you guys are probably wondering what exactly an SPDI is, and how is it different than traditional banks. As you know, there are several different kinds of traditional banks. We have our community banks, which are exist to service local community through safekeeping their deposits, and also lend those deposits to the community members. We also have our custody banks, which provide services that are more focused towards asset custody, asset custody, and providing also a safe gateway for customers to conduct withdrawals or transactions in regulated securities and commodities. Examples of those banks we all know are like JP Morgan, Citi, etc. So the idea is that the traditional banks generate revenue by charging their clients interests on loans, and then borrowing loans to borrowers, and then paying their depositors with those from those fees. Well, this model is profitable. This system creates quite a big risk, as we all know. If the bank gives too many loans, it can easily become insolvent. So the idea of this SPDI is basically, in a way, it's also a custody bank, and it's also regulated as a bank in the United States because it conducts deposit-taking activities. However, the state of Wyoming states that Kraken Financial must maintain 100% reserves of its deposits of fiat currencies at all times. So this means that if all clients of Kraken Financial decide to withdraw their fiat at the same time and the same moment, Kraken Financial would be able to fulfill each withdrawal immediately with no regards to any outstanding debts that the bank has, outstanding loans that we might be having. So this is basically the advantage of this SPDI, and that's what it makes it really unique. You probably all know that in the European Union, the banks are basically insuring our deposits up to 100,000 euro. And if I'm not wrong, the US does the same, but up to 250,000 USD. Well, in this case, with the SPDI, this would not be necessary because the funds of the clients will be available at any given moment. So this is what makes it really unique and cool product. So, what can we offer to our clients? During the first year of operations, Kraken Financial plans to give ability to deposit USD and also custody digital assets. Unfortunately, these services will only be available to American clients at the moment, but Kraken is pretty global oriented, so we are definitely going to be expanding in the future in different jurisdictions, and hopefully the EU will be the first one. Unfortunately, I cannot give you any ETA. Obviously, this is a long process, but the first steps have been taken by getting this license. Also, like the services that we'll be providing will basically they will be seamlessly integrated into our exchange services. So for all those clients, they'll be able to transact immediately from Kraken Financial to their bank account, basically by direct depositing. Also, hopefully within the first year, we want to offer a lot of new crypto-focused services. Some of them include, digital asset custody safekeeping, deposit accounts, wire transfers, and funding services of all kinds. We also anticipate supporting additional services over the next years, such as enhanced digital asset custody offerings, digital asset custody, etc. Also, even like trust accounts and obviously digital asset staking. So other services that we will be able to provide to our individual clients are more like in the traditional sense, our clients will be able to have a mobile banking suite, and something that I really like, a debit card that will our clients will be able to use to spend their crypto funds. For corporate accounts, we'll be able to also provide some traditional stuff such as account management services. We'll be able to provide bank letters, deposit verifications, and proof of funds, all those things that are needed. And since we're a bank, obviously we'll be able to engage with securities and commodities. So basically, a lot of interesting things are coming. Potentially, other asset classes such as securities, we'll be able to offer on the exchange. And that concludes my short summary. In the coming months, there will be a lot of a lot of other news that we'll be releasing, but for now, that is the beginning. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to disrupt the the banking sector with this. And there's some really exciting things coming for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nikolai, for all the news and developments around Kraken. It is way more than actually I asked for and expected from you. So that's a great step towards crypto adoption. Everything that you do, everything that you just told us, and I think it quite answers the discussion and the question that we had in our community at the Sofia Crypto Meetup on the SCM page in Facebook about whether it's good or bad receiving such a bank charter for Kraken. I think it's pretty obvious. It leads to a lot of positive developments in the space. Thank you again very much, and let's go back to Vlad and our main topic now, and Philip, of course.
Thank you very much. On my side as well, actually, Wyoming is attracting a lot of crypto businesses, I notice. So yeah, it's developing as a crypto hub in the States. So yeah, we'll see what other companies will move there. But yes, so let's go to the main topic of our event, which is our discussion with Philip Matov, who is supporting the development of ConsenSys business in Europe and the Middle East and the Africa regions. And he's also working on Codify, and in particular the Codify assets, compliance, payments, and DeFi solutions. And he's also leading the Codify, staking, and Ethereum 2.0 infrastructure working group. So a lot of interesting projects he's involved in. But yeah, I did this short introduction. Maybe I'll give the word to Philip finally to do his introduction himself. So Philip, tell us a little bit about yourself and your role in ConsenSys. And thank you for being here, of course.
It's an absolute pleasure, Vlad. As I said earlier, I always feel at home here. So keep on doing what you guys are doing, and I'll continue supporting with the format. So thanks for having me. As you said, my name is Philip. Yeah, I joined ConsenSys a couple of years ago. Actually, why I decided to join ConsenSys comes from way back time that I previously worked in Tokyo, in Japan, for BNP Paribas to support their digital transformation. So back in 2016, ConsenSys organized a very large conference in Japan. So this was the first time I heard about blockchain. It was an amazing revelation, strike that opened my eyes for so many things. So helped me find a purpose for my professional career. So Joe's been a beacon of change and a person that I looked up to a lot. So I quoted him a lot ever since I heard him the first time in Japan. But after that, when I came back to Japan, I came back to Sofia with some of my closest friends and colleagues. We started a company called Belair, and it was very gratifying and interesting experience. I'll tell you about it just in a second. But in terms of ConsenSys, my role is I'm part of our UK office, although I've been working remotely from Sofia since March. It's been the best time of my professional career. Enjoying my time with my family and friends. It's been amazing, and also going to the mountains all the time, and going to the seaside. It's been pretty cool. But my role is I'm part of the sales strategic team of ConsenSys for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So my role is to do, well, I do several things. Being an entrepreneur from before, you push in a direction that you can help support the development of the business. So I'm responsible for generating leads, finding ways to scope engagements with potential clients with the products and services that we offer within ConsenSys. So I would typically try to manage a deal team that would take an opportunity to actually become a reality. There are ways to either generate those leads as an inbound leads or as outbound through personal communication and contacts. So this is a lot of what I invest my time in. But at the same time, I'm also very interested in ETH 2.0 and DeFi, and I'm heading one of our working groups because within ConsenSys, we've identified some of the main strategic pillars that we want to focus on this year. And one of them is DeFi, but so I'm heading one of the working groups on that topic. It's very interesting. I'll tell you more about it a little later. So yeah. But for those who don't know ConsenSys, with just a couple of words, it's a company founded by Joe Lubin, who is one of the co-founders of Ethereum. It was founded in 2014. So Ethereum is run by the Ethereum Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization. So Joe realized very soon that it's for the interest of everyone to create a company that would build out the ecosystem and develop the tools for entrepreneurs and developers to be able to build on that blockchain. So ever since, Ethereum ConsenSys has been working on some of the largest blockchain implementations of enterprise blockchain around the world. We provide developer tools, organize some events. We do due diligence on smart contracts, and basically did also some advisory work on large projects, and we've been involved in some of the interesting large consortiums around the world, supporting them in a technical manner. But yeah, I'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Actually, yeah, ConsenSys is one of the most successful software companies in the blockchain space, and they have focused primarily on 5 different products, and one is Codify, but the 3 others, apart from Quorum, which we'll mention a bit later, like the diligence part, Infura and MetaMask, I think those 3 were quite fundamental for the success of the Ethereum ecosystem, and also for the explosion in DeFi that we saw. I mean, MetaMask is perhaps the most widely used wallet application or plugin, browser plugin, which is used to communicate or interact with DeFi applications, and in general with dApps on Ethereum. And Infura, this API suite is really helping developers to streamline development of dApps. And then the diligence part is basically doing security audits on smart contracts, which is super essential in the decentralized finance space, where you get large amounts of value being moved around. So yeah, I think ConsenSys is quite of systematic importance, I would say, for the Ethereum ecosystem. But yeah, thank you for this extensive introduction. It was super interesting. But then you mentioned Belair. So what's happening with your project? I remember you guys visiting Sofia Crypto Meetup, and the first time I met you, actually, I met you as one of the persons behind, like managers behind Belair. So what's happening with Belair?
So yeah, thank you for this question. So today's Belair's general manager is Angel Gyurov, who is CFA level 3 with MBA of INSEAD. He was our CFO and has been supporting our project since the beginning. So our focus is mainly on supporting our crypto portfolio and taking care of our existing client base without really proactively pursuing new clients, which kind of allows us to focus on other opportunities as well. I'm still majority stakeholder and actively supporting our operations. I've been a big believer in Ethereum since my initiation into blockchain. So I've been figuring out the best way. I'm trying to understand what the best way is to support the ecosystem, and I had a great opportunity to do this with ConsenSys. So I took that opportunity. So today I actively contribute to growing the ecosystem and enterprise adoption every day. So it's quite an interesting ride. One of the people in the world who's very fortunate to do something that they really love and believe in. So but Belair is going well, and we have more time now to invest in other projects as well.
Perfect, great. It's always, I mean, I'm always happy when blockchain or crypto related company coming from Bulgaria is continuing to provide services to users. And although perhaps not expanding, you guys, I guess, you're doing a great job managing your current portfolio. But okay, so let's talk a little bit more about ConsenSys. So as far as I know, it's ConsenSys is supporting both like the public Ethereum infrastructure, but also providing private or permissioned blockchain solutions. So which of those are you more interested in? Which of those do you think have the brighter future, or do you think they will be existing in parallel and developing in parallel and growing in parallel?
I completely believe they will be growing in parallel, and it's not so easy to pinpoint when one project would prefer to do a private network versus to work on a private network versus a public network. You would be surprised that very, very large institutions with a lot of KYC, KYT, AML requirements on their heads would sometimes opt to do a project or a pilot on a public net, and they would see much more value in it. This includes some very large financial institutions. On the other hand, you can find some smaller investment companies, investment funds that would feel more comfortable in building a private network. So it really depends on entrepreneurs that are entering into the space and the essence of their business to choose which one they would go for. We, as a position, we try to push the development of both. We believe in the long-term success of an open mainnet for Ethereum, but even for practical purposes, whether it be complete finality or speed or security of data, we could accommodate for either a public or a private net. Actually, on the layer one of every infrastructure solution that we work in, we have both options, either to connect through Infura on a public net or a private network through ConsenSys Quorum.
Interesting. And which one of those are you more involved in, or are you doing both?
I'm really doing both, and again, it really depends on from a project to project case. It's not. I wouldn't divide my clients on ones that work on a public and ones that work on a private network. It's sort of a secondary thing versus what, of course, we would push for in many cases for a public net.
Nice. Okay, so let's focus a little bit now on Quorum, which is the permissioned part of the solution that the blockchain solution, DOT solution you are offering. It was developed by JP Morgan, but now it's acquired, or there's a partnership between ConsenSys and JP Morgan, in which Quorum, I guess, is going to be supported or sustained primarily by ConsenSys. So why what is Quorum exactly, and what do you think this acquisition will change in the world of DOT?
It's a very good question. So in terms of the deal between ConsenSys and JP Morgan, I can only comment very little, but there are 3 points to it. So the first one is that JP Morgan has made an investment, a strategic investment into ConsenSys, and is part of the board of strategic investors. ConsenSys has acquired JP Morgan Quorum, including the protocol technology, the brand, and all the assets associated with Quorum. So we own, ConsenSys owns Quorum's brand and technology behind it. And on top of that, JP Morgan has become a customer of ConsenSys by purchasing support on Quorum for their project IIN, which is Interbank Information Network, which is a revolutionary ecosystem with really vast potential to enable rapid innovation. It's working on speed of payment flow through information exchange and reducing latency. It's a network of over 400 institutions that we will provide support with. So one thing that ConsenSys is really strong is support for our products. So acquiring Quorum means that Quorum previously being under JP Morgan didn't provide support to their clients. So one thing that we provide now for Quorum is support. We will also, JP Morgan will also be customers. There will be also our customers regarding the JP Morgan Coin Network. Let me share my screen just for 1 second. I wanted to show you a slide that will give you a little bit of a visual feeling of the acquisition. Just 1 sec. Right. Can you guys see my screen?
Unfortunately not. This screen sharing function is problematic.
And then click in on the screen that you see. And then you click share.
All right, I'll try it one last time.
I think it might be
like with Jitsi, you need to
actually
click twice on the screen and then.
Oh, right. There we go. There we go.
All right, good. So just wanted to say that we have layer 1 solution. We have had a layer 1 solution in ConsenSys. It's Java based. It's a Hyperledger Besu developed by Pegasus, and it supports Orion, ETHSigner. On the other hand, JP Morgan's Quorum is written on Go and supports Tessera. So what we are going to do is that slowly we are going to converge the product and commercial roadmap of Hyperledger Besu with Quorum. So it becomes slowly one in the same ecosystem. Okay. Oh, good.
I see. Actually, that was informative. I was kind of wondering about that because I was reading the FAQ about Quorum and I didn't get that, but you see, just one graph kind of explains it all. Perfect. Great. And
Yeah.
can you tell us a bit more? Can you tell us a bit more about some clients or who is currently using ConsenSys Quorum, or yeah, if that's possible, of course. If it's not, yeah, private
Yeah,
information.
of course. I can share some information. I can share some. So just as a point, which is very important, it's quite a major step in acceleration of enterprise adoption of blockchain and Ethereum-based solutions. We will progressively enable the convergence of these two open source technologies, but supporting regardless, of the stack, whether it's Quorum or Hyperledger or Besu. But it's also a huge endorsement of ConsenSys in our product stack. So it's quite an interesting time for us. We're very excited. It opens up two things. So first, you get unified enterprise Ethereum narrative. So you don't have to, now we don't have to talk about Hyperledger, Besu, and Quorum in separate discussions. You have one thing. You have better collaboration under one protocol dev and support team. But on the other hand, it kind of opens up for us a lot of opportunities. First, to provide support to existing Quorum users, which are more than 100 large financial institutions around the world. But also, and I'll get to that in a second, I'll explain maybe a little bit more about our product stack and how it works. But it's quite simple. It's quite clear that once you leverage on layer 1 solutions such as Quorum and working with ConsenSys, you will leverage layer 2 and 3 solutions, which are a lot of applications that we've been building and promoting. So it's quite exciting for these companies. So I can give you an example of one company. It's called Comgo. Well, it's a consortium of 16 of the largest players in the trade finance space. We built a platform for these guys that supports settlement for letters of credit when it comes to trading petrol. So it's very simple. Well, it's quite a complicated process to trade petrol, but when you have a buyer and a seller from like Asia to Europe, you typically need a financial institution to make sure that that transaction happens. They typically take ownership of the cargo when it's in sea. So you have a lot of players here when it comes to these transactions. You have the buyer and the seller, of course, but you have different places that the cargo goes from one port to another. Then you have a financial institution providing a loan and actually taking ownership of that cargo. You have an insurance company. So you have a lot of players playing here. So this project was built on Quorum. But now with ConsenSys acquiring Quorum, this will not lead to any technical complexities or changes to them. We could just provide additional support to Quorum, base support. But that's one example of a project that was built on Quorum and will continue supporting.
Interesting. So this is from the supply chain industry, I guess. Any other industries which use the product? I guess I mean there are a few, I guess, but which industries would you say are most interested in using blockchain tech or DOT technology?
So depends. If we're talking about Quorum and building, because Quorum is a layer 1 technology, the users of Quorum would typically be large companies, whether financial institution or others, that are looking to build out their own solutions on top of it. So this is their connection to Ethereum, basically. So Quorum users are very typically banks and large financial institutions. Where I see a lot of potential of DLT applications these days, it's definitely also in that same area, either in capital markets or asset management. So these are verticals that we spend a lot of time on, especially investment management around managing investment funds, real estate, private equity, etc.
Okay, cool. And so I guess I mean, in my head, there are two types of users. One type of users are kind of looking for the network, the positive network effects which are being kind of created with this technology. So basically getting in connection with other institutions or other companies. And the other type of users, I guess, is those who are developing like solutions which are for use primarily by themselves. Is this the case, or is it always like this network effect or the ability to get connected to other companies the primary thing?
The main narrative, as you guys very well know, behind blockchain is to connect businesses and enable them to work better together, more efficiently together. So obviously, building out solutions for consortiums for different purposes adds a lot of interesting value. A lot of the most prominent and interesting blockchain platforms and use cases that have been working in production are consortium-led opportunities such as Comgo or Covantes, which is similar to Comgo platform, but it's for the agricultural business. And again, it's a lot of use case about process management, document management systems, consolidating everything in one place that used to be operated in silos. So making that whole operations run much more efficiently. And we take usage here also the whole process flows more efficiently.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's an interesting discussion actually. How do you get more people to implement blockchain technology? And for example, if one company does it and it has partners, how does it make its partners to also adopt that technology? But I guess my next question, because we're kind of running out of time. I was hoping we can get fit into 1 hour, but it's never the case. But yeah, there are a couple of very interesting questions that are coming up, at least to me. So the first one is, can you give me an example of how an enterprise is actually using the public blockchain solution like Ethereum? And doesn't it face these serious issues of scalability? And in relation to scalability, the cost of actually using a public blockchain, in terms of high network fees.
Yep, it's a very good point, and I'm happy to share a specific use case. Actually, I think one point before I do that, what the product stack of ConsenSys looks like, because it will give you a structure for the use case that I'm going to give you after that. Okay, let me share my screen once again. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So ConsenSys today is very much a software product company. So we build out products that we distribute for different purposes in different markets. So the way that we construct most of the solutions that we do start with a layer 1 solution, which is a connection between the blockchain and whatever comes after. So it's we do it either through public net or through consensus quorum in the private permission network. On top of that sits Codify Orchestrate. So Orchestrate is a solution that we've seen as something that we needed to develop for a lot of the large blockchain technology platform implementations, and it's a piece of software which is so essential to any large blockchain case. It basically helps with transaction orchestration management. It helps you with how to store private keys. It helps you with smart contract deployment. So you kind of make sure here that like the latency in a very simple architecture of it's a product actually that we also offer as a standalone product for people who just want to create applications on top, but they don't want to deal with the complexities that come with blockchain. So, and actually a lot of these products, they come from the Codify stack. And Codify is, so we market it as the operating system on top of Ethereum for commerce and finance, or like more newly, the application suite for commerce and finance on top of Ethereum. So the thing is that Ethereum is a great distributed computer, but doesn't really come with an operating system or really applications that can make life easy for commercial and financial institutions. So this is our approach and solution to it. It's a number of pillars of products that we address this. So for example, one of them is called Codify Assets. So when you asked me earlier about a use case where a company uses public Ethereum mainnet for their purpose, so Codify as a platform and lifecycle management of digital assets that comes as a white label SaaS platform that we offer, or it comes as an API. So the difference between many other companies and ConsenSys is a team that is developing it, but at the same time, we have a professional services team of more than environment for a client or work on custom features. So So Codify Assets example would be a company called Matov Capital, which is a real estate investment fund in France. So under French law, you are actually allowed to put the registry of your, well, basically of your investors, on blockchain. So that's a huge. In the case in France with Matov Capital, they've tokenized more than 300 million euro worth of real estate with Codify Assets, using Codify Orchestrate to make sure that there is not much latency, and using the infrastructure layer 1 solutions that we have. So it is a solution that we put their real estate investment fund units on the platform. So transactions happening, so public blockchain would fit well for that case. You don't have like people buying and selling real estate like every 2 minutes. So it's easy. But of course, I mean, if we talk about high latency projects, very often we would choose a side chain, build a side chain or a private network. Just 1 second. All right. So, all right. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. So that's a very interesting use case that we like to use. Yeah. Sorry, I got
You mentioned.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Exactly about the tokenization of real estate. Sorry. About everyone like talking on top of each other. Sorry for that. I wanted to ask you, Philip, about that use case, general tokenization of real estate. So you basically said what you think about it. Definitely positive, but still, can you tell us more? It's not only in France. It's been like great case also in, for example, in the States, in the UK. Firstly, project. Secondly, governments that already did it. What do you think about it?
Hello? Yeah, sorry. There was a little bit of a lag, a little difficult to get your question, but I would say that
Philip online?
More than 30-40% of the conversations that I'm having are around tokenization of. Yeah.
So yeah, I think
Can you guys hear me?
next time we're gonna use something different from Jitsi, because I think there is some lag that is happening that wasn't there before. Yes, we can hear you, or at least I did. I think the primary issue there is of regulatory. If you want to tokenize real estate in Bulgaria, I think you have some much harder time, definitely, but more progressive legislations, I guess, are making this more easy. So it's not only a technological challenge, I guess, with Codify. It's easy to tokenize real estate from a technical point of view, but regulators are, yeah, still struggling in some cases. Great, thank you for this. I have another question. So, in your opinion, like, what are the biggest challenges that consensus quorum is facing? Like, or if there is one single large challenge, what would you say that is? Maybe in terms of when you're trying to, yeah, promote this solution to clients. What are their concerns? What are their primary concerns?
So, to be honest, we don't expect or face any specific the acquisition of Quorum. Now we have an opportunity to offer support to a very new and large pool of new potential investors. On top of that, we have an opportunity to introduce them to our product stack that varies from anything from tokenizing assets to a staking as a service solution to a payment solution. ConsenSys has been involved in several central bank digital currencies projects around the world. So it's just a great opportunity to introduce these companies to all of these new products and services. We have a compliance tool, we have a risk analytics and management tool. So it's quite a lot of things that now companies that have previously used Quorum can now get on top of support, enterprise support for their usage, plus these tools. In terms of challenges, I would say that probably now we need to hire some developers. The let's say the product roadmap coming together is an exercise that needs to be done internally. So this is going to be an interesting and probably challenge that would take a little bit of time. But in terms of usage of Quorum, I couldn't comment too much yet, but we haven't encountered any specific problems.
Cool. So let's focus a little bit on Ethereum point two staking, because I know everybody is quite interested in learning more about what's happening there on the topic, and it was very interesting. And as far as I know, ConsenSys will be, as you just mentioned, will be providing staking as a service for Ethereum users. So what can you tell us about staking? How is progress? On like ongoing.
Timeline is always fun to watch, but there is a strong push to get to phase 0 beacon chain this year. We expect this to happen mid-November. So brace yourselves. Of course, actively involved in Medasha, which is the first Ethereum Foundation-backed testnet for Ethereum 2.0. And along with other testnets, the main objective is to give us all another chance to go through one of the more difficult and risky parts of the process, which is deposit and genesis. So before we reach mainnet. But if all goes well, it should give us a great peace of mind before we jump into the real deal. So we have two things: staking as a service platform. We launched pilot clients a few months ago that helped us actually develop some of the helped gather requirements for the solution that we're making. So it's important companies taking part of this, including Trustology, Binance, and some others. So this is a solution that we only offer to large institutions, so it's not for individual users. So we would target large exchanges, custodians, large miners, operations, and crypto funds and banks. So these are like the kind of companies that we would target with our institutional solution. It has several different aspects. One of them is actually prevent from slashing and other like non-cool events in ETH2. So that's one thing. The way we deal with private keys is also an important key element on how we manage this. But that's one thing. The other thing is that we have Teku, which is an ETH2 client participating in it's very, very interesting times for both the client and the staking as a service solution.
Okay, that's interesting, because I thought that the ConsenSys will be providing
on that point,
solution
do you hear me?
to users, but yes, only enterprise users. That's very interesting. I guess CoinDesk will be one of those enterprise users. Yep, go ahead.
There is some weird lag on the. You mentioned it too, point oh. On that note, I wanted to ask you, what do you think about the Spadina and Tinknet? I'm not sure whether they're pronounced right, test nets, and also about Optimism's limited testnet layer 2 solution.
With the lag, but I wouldn't test nets. I'm not so familiar with them. I think the guys from Pegasus Teku team would be much better to talk in my stead on this topic. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just a way to give us a peace of mind before we jump into the real deal. Hopefully mid-November.
Cool. Maybe just one final question. That's maybe more of a joke. What do you expect the price of Bitcoin and Ether to be at the end of the year? I mean, not as a representative of ConsenSys, but your personal opinion, I guess, and we can wrap it up with that last question.
Yeah, to the moon, guys! Come on. No, seriously, I think things are moving in a positive trend. We are bringing more and more attention to the space, either through enterprise adoption or through sheer DeFi growth. So it's very interesting and exciting times for us. I think all of us that have been in the space for a few years now have learned to be patient and to understand that things come slowly, but they will come surely. So very positive. Yeah, thank you.
Give us numbers. Give us numbers.
I don't know. Let's say $500 for Ether. Why not? Who knows? If it's a wild guess.
And where do you see Bitcoin then?
Let's say 15K. Why not?
Well, hopefully.
Great. That's on the.
Hopefully,
Please
this
don't hold me accountable for these words.
No one can predict the price, but it's just something that I'm interested in. I guess the audience is also interested in. If prognosis really materializes by the end of the year, I personally think that there are a lot of reasons of why it should. But I guess not an investment advice. But let's wrap it up, because actually the live stream is going to at 1 hour and almost 15 minutes. So thank you so much, Philip, for all of the insights that you provided in relation to ConsenSys. Actually, it's a lot more clear and in terms of products and solutions. And I hope the audience also finds this information valuable. Thank you so much for being with us, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you around in our next events, and hopefully we can make them actually. I don't know what's going to happen, but yes, as I said, yeah, next time if there is not an English speaker, we might try to do this in Bulgarian so that it can reach more of our fellow Bulgarians and other Bulgarian communities interested in crypto. I guess this is the goal, to reach as many people as possible. And yeah, today with the news and the cool questions. She's yeah, a very helping with a lot of stuff, and yeah, really valuable contributions in terms of text. So, and thanks to everyone who joined us online. I hope you guys found the content not only about ConsenSys, but everything that we shared before that also valuable. You heard it first in Sofia Crypto Meetup. So thank you again to both of our, and of course Nikki, he's not here, but yeah, thanks to him for his really extensive Kraken announcement. I was not expecting that amount of depth in his contribution, but it was quite useful. So yeah, thank you again to everyone being here, and we'll see you again next time, next month, the last Wednesday of the month. Thank you guys. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.